Hello everyone, my name is James, your host, and welcome to another episode of Plugged Into the New Normal live here at the Ticketpro Dome. Today's guest, Louis Kruger, is the director and sales lead of PetExpo, here to tell us more about PetExpo. Louis, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for your time.
So anyone who knows you will know that you have a passionate and deep love for dogs. I'd like to find out more about how you got involved with pets as well as the event industry.
So I guess we've had animals, pets, my whole life. So I guess you can say I was born kind of into dogs, and an educator at heart. I've always been passionate about educating the public on responsible pet ownership specifically, and really just sharing my passion and knowledge about dogs specifically, but also other pets.
Okay, fantastic. And I mean, with a quarter of a century experience, Wodak is an unmissable pet event on the calendar. So I'd like to find out more about Wodak and how it evolved and transformed into PetExpo.
Right. So I guess this year, 25 years ago, in Durban, I attended the very first World of Dogs and Cats, known generally by everyone as Wodak. That was my first exposure to Wodak. That's where I met my first show dog, agility champion, and that was kind of my first exposure. And from then, every year I've been involved either as an exhibitor, competitor, etc. And as I was saying to you earlier, I attended a show overseas, and they held a very competitive show in conjunction with the PetExpo, and that's where I really got the idea of involving all kinds of other pets around a dog show specific event, and that birthed PetExpo was supposed to be happening this year.
Fantastic. What other pets do you guys showcase at the expo?
So PetExpo specifically will have obviously a major dog component. We'll also be involving cats, reptiles, birds, and whoever else decides to join us to educate the public on responsible pet ownership.
Okay, very cool, very cool.
Yeah.
Now, there was a lot of excitement for the first show under the reimagined brand PetExpo, which as a venue we look forward to hosting. Could you tell us more about the planning process and how COVID-19 has affected the show?
So there was really great momentum that built up. We have tremendous following on our social media. And everyone was really posting frequently about how excited they were, and we were. We have some incredible sponsors and exhibitors who really ready to hit the ground running with us this year. Sadly, due to Corona, as has affected everyone, the lockdown regulations at this point don't allow mass gatherings. So we felt it would be a strategic move to rather postpone the event by exactly a year. So the same weekend next year, back at the Ticketpro Dome, we will then be able to launch our reimagined World of Dogs and Cats event, now known as PetExpo.
I can't wait. I'm also very passionate about dogs, and I think pets are really a lifestyle. You know, it's you have to experience the whole feeling of a pet, and I think that's what happens at PetExpo.
Most definitely, our whole aim is to give the public exposure to breeds that they may have never met before, being able to speak to people who are absolutely passionate about their specific breeds or species, so that when people make that lifelong commitment decision to take on that particular breed or pet or species, that they do so with complete knowledge and understanding of what's to be expected going forward.
Very, very valuable. And then in terms of new event organizers, do you have any advice for new fresh faces in the industry who are going through a tough time right now?
I think we've all held on to, and particularly my team, we've held on to the notion that nothing is forever, and that this too shall pass, and we're taking it one step at a time, one day at a time, keeping communication as clear and as frequent as possible seems to be the trick these days.
And where, as a pet lover, can I find more about the show and access more information, whether it is to get tickets for the show or just to enter some of the competitions?
Right, so we are very active on our Facebook page, so anyone can just search for PetExpo. Our website is petexpo.co.za, and then also Instagram, PetExpo SA.
Okay, fantastic. And then just before we end off, would you share with us your most memorable and favorite moment here at the Ticketpro Dome?
Yeah, so I have to admit that it probably was the Josh Groban concert held exactly here a few years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not shy to admit that I'm a great fan. So I was probably ticket number 001 sold at the time. So yeah.
Okay, okay. Well, that's it for today's episode of Plugged In to the New Normal. Thank you, Louis, for joining us. I really appreciate it. To stay in touch with them on social, you can find them on Facebook at PetExpo or on Instagram at PetExpo SA. And to find out more information on our upcoming guests, you can follow us at Ticketpro Dome. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time.